Good morning, East Bay. My name is Tina Bathsheba Harambe. I am a licensed practitioner here at East Bay Church. Good morning also to our live streamers. Welcome to this glorious, glorious, glorious Sunday. We are so happy that you're here. You're truly here for what we call our day party. We're looking to have a spectacular time. So let's do what we usually do, East Bay, and for those that are new for the very first time, please, let's stand.
Spread universal love all around the world. This one for my people near and far. Hit you with the sound that'll touch your heart. Blessings like a message that was sent from God. I spread universal love all around the town. Some claim they are the king, but I wear the crown. Shining like the biggest and the brightest star. Blessings like a message that was sent from God. Blessings like a message that was sent from God. Blessings like a message that was sent from God. Blessings like a message that was sent from God. Blessings like a message that was sent from God. Universal law, what you give shall return. Every day's a lesson we live and we learn. I take a look around, it got me so concerned. Feel like these are the times the Savior should return. So I look in the mirror, see a God's reflection. Know the change I want to see begins in my perception. Look every person in the eye, allow a real connection. Fear no man, I know the angels are for me protecting. No weapon formed against me shall ever prosper. Knowing even through the struggle, that just makes me stronger. My sacrifices are the prayers a humble servant offers at the altar. These bars as hard as the rock at Gibraltar. Never falter, got the haters puzzle like a crossword. Hit them with them spiritual laws. Meditation, mantra, affirmation, honor, uplift, up, most high, Oakland or Wakanda. I spread universal love all around the world. This one for my people near and far. Hit you with the sound that'll touch your heart. Blessings like a message that was sent from God. I spread universal love all around the town. Some claim they are the queen, but I wear the crown. Shining like the biggest and the brightest star. Blessings like a message that was sent from God. Blessings like a message that was sent from God. East Bay in the house today, come on. Blessings like a message that was sent from God. We came to feel that good love. Blessings like a message that was sent from God. We came to feel that universal love. Blessings like a message that was sent from God. Spread love all around the world. 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 universal love. I spread universal love all around the world. This one for my people near and far. Hit you with the sound that'll touch your heart. Blessed is like a message that was sent from God. I spread universal love all around the town. Some claim they are the queen, but I wear this crown. Shining like the biggest and the brightest star. Blessed is like a message that was sent from God. Spread love all around the world. Spread love all around the world. Spread love all around the world.
Thank you for just the way we're just sharing and greeting and loving and connecting and seeing each other. So I invite you at this time to just take that divine energy that you met with a hug, a smile, a thought, that energy that we brought into this room to create this sacred space. And just centering in this time for prayer. And in this sacred time for prayer, releasing any idea, any thought of who or what we are, and just focus on the magnificence. The magnificence of this divine spirit, this very thing itself that goes by many names and practiced in many ways. However, the sacredness of it is just one thing itself, which is love. And it is this very love that is pulsating and having its way through every intricate detail of what we are and who we are. And it is that same detail that is from the internal part of this universe to the external part of everything. And it is that same universal system that is working within each and every one of us. It is that magnificence. And it is that magnificence that I know that I am one with, you are one with. And that this very oneness that we share with it is everlasting. It is today, it is right here and right now. And it is in this right here and right now that I speak my word and I just declare that this is a profound and perfect Sunday. And that everything that is happening right now has already happened and manifested at its highest and best good, which is the evidence of you. And that evidence of you is nothing but perfection. And that perfection that we share with this oneness, it is speaking to our cells and our tissues and our organs, our muscles, our lymph nodes, every part of our body in beingness. It is allowing our heart to have the beat that it has. It is allowing every part of our body to move in the rhythm of the music and move through the rhythm of this universe that is forever moving with glorious details of nothing but good. And that good is saying that I love you. I love you. I love you. And so I'm just giving thanks right now. I'm giving thanks that this life that we're living is so magnificent, that God made us in the image of itself, and we are the highest expression of that. I'm giving thanks to know that all is well, all will be well, because right here and right now, everything is perfect. And so that perfection is the perfection that will always exist. It is at the layer of our soul that says yes. And so I'm just giving thanks for this service. I'm giving thanks for Reverend Dereca and the word that was anointed in her today. I'm giving thanks that everything that is happening for all of our divine good. I'm giving thanks for our audio team. I'm giving thanks for the musicians. I'm giving thanks for our board of trustees who hold the high watch of consciousness, that we continue to be here on this corner and on Telegraph, right here in Oakland and all throughout the world. I'm giving thanks for our practitioners who absolutely know the word of truth, who have faced those who have faced cancer and said, I know still who you are. Those who have been in a hospital that they're speaking their word and said, you're still whole, perfect, and complete. I am giving thanks today for our practitioners who are forever praying and knowing abundance is here, even if your bank account says something different. I'm giving thanks for that. And it is from this place of gratitude that I release my word into the law, where I know the law is forever responding because it loves us, it appreciates us, and is thankful that we're here to be the image of God. And for this, I release my word by saying, Ashe, amen, and so it is.
Good morning, East Bay. I am your partner in prayer, Dear Grace Angel, Leslie Frazier. And we're going to do the Declaration of Principles. Remember, we're bringing that back into service, right? And so we're going to take it slow. And the slides should come up. We're going to do just the 4 top stanzas as we get used to doing it again. Okay? So I want to invite you to stand if you can. It's okay if you want to stay seated. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, the one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the individualization of this spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of this one spirit. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of our soul forever and ever expanding. We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to continue to stand. So if I can have you to come on and stand with me. All right. And now we're going to do God is the only power in my life. And we'll have that in English as well as Spanish. And Joelle, would you join me? All right.
Hi, Reverend Bathsheba.
I love y'all. Y'all are so kind. All right, here we go. We ready? All right. God is the only power in my life. Nothing from without can touch the perfect life of God within me. No past experience has power over me. I am a perfect child of God, and nothing that anyone has ever done or said can interfere with my divine birthright. The power of God is greater than any circumstance in my life. The strength of God is mine to use. Turning away from all feelings of inadequacy, I discovered that all that I need is within me right now. As I forgive the past, I find that I have nothing to atone for and nothing to run away from. Casting off the old me, I discover my true self. I take dominion in my life. Old habits have no power over me. Conditions have no power over me. Personalities have no power over me. I take dominion. I am whole. I am free. I am complete now and forevermore. And so it is. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Reverend Bathsheba. God morning, East Bay. Put some feeling into this. Now we're going to say it in Spanish. Here we go together. Dios es el único poder en mi vida. Nada de afuera puede tocar la vida perfecta de Dios adentro de mí. Soy un niño perfecto de Dios y nada que el cualquiera haya hecho o dicho puede intervenir con mi herencia divina. El poder de Dios es más fuerte que cualquier circunstancia en mi vida. La fuerza de Dios es mía para utilizar. Olvidando los sentimientos de insuficiencia, yo descubro que todo lo que necesito está adentro de mí en este momento. Cuando perdono el pasado, encuentro que no tengo nada para expiar o escapar. Olvidando mi antigua persona, yo descubro mi verdadera persona. Yo tomo dominio en mi vida. Los hábitos antiguos no tienen poder sobre mí. Las condiciones no tienen poder sobre mí. Las personalidades no tienen poder sobre mí. Yo tomo dominio. Soy entero. Soy libre. Soy completa. Ahora y para siempre. Es así, sí, sí. And I'm giving a quick shout out to my wife right here, the most beautiful Chicana and intelligent Chicana in the house, Rita. Rita.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Joel. That's my classmate, so he didn't let you know that he too is in ministerial school. All right, it is time. We told you first thing this morning that this is a day party. Right. So we want to explain what that means. We're going to have a good time all morning. Right? So that's what the young folks say when they're partying during the day. So we are partying and having a good time. Now, this is a special moment. This is for our first-time guests. We love for you to stand. We're not going to ask you to say anything. We just want to share some love and vibrations the East Bay way. Woo-hoo! All right, all right. Woo! Yes! All right. So East Bay, let's do what we do. Let's stretch our arms out, our hands out, our love, our hearts, all of our good intention, and we say, welcome to East Bay Church of Religious Signs.
Welcome to East Bay Church of Religious Signs.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
The God in us
The God in us
sees and recognizes
sees and recognizes
the God in you.
the God in you.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Please remain standing as we have a gift to share. Inside the bag is a welcome certificate and questionnaire of the Science of Mind magazine, some literature about our philosophy, and a guest card. Please make sure you fill that out. And also come into the bookstore to meet Reverend Dereca and drop that information off. All right, we love you and we appreciate you. Okay. All right, it's time for our announcements. We have back with us our superstar, Reverend. You see how I'm pumping it up? Yeah, exactly. Right. We have to make sure church feels like a party as well. Yes, it's good energy. All right, come on up, Reverend Dereca.
Party over here.
Thank you so much, Bathsheba. We are so blessed to have her as our pulpit assistant, and she is, fourth in inches, right? All she has to do is complete her panels, and then she will be Reverend Bathsheba. So we know we already know it's done. So we claim it. It's done. It's handled, and so grateful for the way she holds the pulpit. As has been said, my name is Reverend Dereca Blackmon. I'm the senior minister here at the East Bay Church of Religious Science. Thank you. I use she or they gender pronouns, and I always like to let you know what my pronouns are because you can't tell what they are by looking at me, and because it's a wonderful act of allyship for letting folks know that this is a church where all are included. So it's I decided to step in and do the announcements today because we got a lot of good stuff happening in the future. And also, this is the last Sunday I'm going to be with you for a couple of weeks because we are doing our Sacred Spirit Tour to Bali. And Chris and I and several folks, I see Walter and Maxine, Georgia and Marlon, we're all heading out in just a little over a week. So excited to that. So here's all of what's going to be happening next week and then in the month to come. First up, next Sunday is Sacred Activism Sunday. So y'all know on the 5th Sunday, it's revival, and so we have church in the round. We usually have Kilo Grand for a DJ, but we're not going to have a DJ this time, but we are going to have something we haven't had in a very long time, which is Reverend Queen Michelle will be the solo artist. So, of course, you don't want to miss that. And for the first time since I've been here, Reverend D. Jacqueline Edwards will be the keynote. We'll give the talk. After service, the Sacred Activism Ministry is sponsoring the whole service. After service, there will be a pop-up postcard writing party where we're going to write. Sometimes people are like, what is this sacred activism thing you're doing? There are always small things all of us can do. So we're having a postcard writing party to look at some very key congressional races where we can make a difference. So you can just come, pop in a little postcard, encouraging people to get out there and vote because there are some really important races on the ballot. So we're looking at California's 22nd Congressional District, Texas, and a couple other key races. And we have done the research. Postcards do make a difference when they're sent by people in the area. So lots of good work on that. Save the dates. So all of this is on the website. So don't freak out if you don't get all the details right now. But these are some important dates we want you to put on your calendar. Coming up, on September 6th, we are going to be blessing you with some freebies. So there'll be a freebie giveaway thanks to Reverend Almondra and others who have been heading this up. There's lots of wonderful things here at the church that are looking for a home. So just consider it your church garage sale. We will be allowing you to come and take things home that are looking for a home to share. So that will be after service on the 6th. Also, we are going to be doing some skills training for folks who want to work in the children and teen church. How many people are like, I want to do that, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to handle this generation? You know, there's a little questions. I've had a couple folks ask those questions. So we're going to be doing some skill building for folks who are interested in children's church or teen church, because we are going to be bringing our teen church back. We're very excited about that. So please come out Saturday, September 19th between 1 and 3. It's going to be in person at East Bay Church. How many people took classes in the last year? If you took any classes in the last year, yes. So it is time for us to acknowledge all the folks who have taken classes. We're going to have a graduation ceremony during service on September 20th. So we'd like you to be here so we can acknowledge you and your journey. Pathways to Manhood is back. So excited. One of the most powerful and impactful programs in our community. We're so grateful. Kelvin Potts is here in the back. Positive Communications Practices is one of our key partners, and Pathways to Manhood has been a powerful program. If you know a young man, an older man, somebody who is needing connection, this is the time to bring them. Start whispering in the ear. You might like this. I'm working on my brother. You might like this pathway. Me might like this group. You got to work on people. Drop the hint. September 13th through November 15th. They meet here on Sundays 3:30 to 5. More information will be coming about that soon. Thank you to the men's ministry and to Kelvin and all the folks, Chris, Reverend Anthony, all the folks who make that possible. Tyrone, I start calling names, I get in trouble. So I'm just all the men who make that possible. Thank you. And it is finally time to install the Sensational Six, our new practitioners that passed their exams and their panels. They worked hard for 2 to 20 years, depending on which one you talk to get to this point. And not only are we going to install them, we are going to acknowledge all the practitioners who have reinstated their license, transferred to East Bay from other places. Maria Lopez, who just got her license through the Spanish ministry. All the folks who are practitioners, and then all the practitioners will be here doing our rededication. So we decided to make it a Saturday event, but we really need you to be here to celebrate. The most important thing we do as a community is pray. And so I'm asking you to put this date on your calendar and really show up. It's going to be a very beautiful and powerful celebration. I see right here in the front, Deborah Adams Trousseau, who along with Kimberly and Reverend Carmela and LaToya, we worked very hard on surrender, because that's all that training practitioners is an opportunity to surrender and surrender some more. So thank you so much for your leadership in that. We have worked together on so many things, but this was the best and the most important, and blooming into a new chapter. So come and really just get ready for a celebration of prayer. And Reverend Sherry Greer is ready for ordination. Sunday, October 3rd will be her ordination right here at East Bay. She's naming it the Sacred Yes, the Sacred Calling of Love, Service, and Spiritual Leadership. Everyone who knows Reverend Sherry knows she has been an incredible influence and powerful presence in our church for many, many years. So we're grateful to be hosting her ordination. That was a lot of information, a lot of good things happening. It's all on the website. You can register for everything at www.evcrs.org. But it's a good season to show up and celebrate. There's so much in the world that feels like it's going wrong. How about come and let's celebrate all the things that are going right, yes? One of the things that is going right is this here music at East Bay. We are so grateful, as always, to have the Kev Choice Ensemble with us, and especially grateful to have our sister Skylar here as our vocalist, and always great to have Dame Gerald here with us. I give you the Kev Choice Ensemble, Skylar.
Good morning, East Bay. How y'all feeling? Y'all feeling good? Sometimes the musical spirit just flows through me and directs me to center us in ways that my voice can't do. So I'm going to just allow the music to speak today. Give it up one more time for Skylar. Also on drums, my brother Dame Drummer. My good brother Gerald Williams on the bass. This music is a part of the ritual, part of the message, as we center ourselves, giving thanks for this day, for this morning. And shout out to those who are commemorating or celebrating any part of Black August, which I've been doing myself. And if you don't know about it, look it up online. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of great information. It's a time where we study. It's a time where we fast. It's a time we train and we uplift those who have offered their lives in acts of resistance. And we're all in some ways just looking for ways to sing, to be liberated, and to be free. Free to worship, free to love, free to express in any way that our spirit and our soul shall wish. So in the divine reflection of being free and liberated today, we're going to offer these songs, and I hope you enjoy.
Hang on to the world as it spins around. Just don't let the spin get you down. Things are moving fast. Hold on tight and you will last. Keep your self-respect, your manly pride. Get yourself in gear, keep your stride. Never mind your fear. Brighter days will soon be here. Take it from me, someday we'll all be free. Yeah.
I can't be free living in a world revolving. Money, material objects, everyone chasing them dollars. Keep it in your bank, keep it in your pocket, keep it in your wallet. Make them deposits like it defines us, nothing without it. I'm trying to give me a couple of meals before I get out of here. I want both of my children to live the rest of their life without a care. I want all of my people to know that the moments I wasn't there, I was out trying to secure our futures with music, and I was the only plan. Living our life to satisfy someone else's expectations. Working a 9-to-5 day-to-day basis, caught in the matrix. Being complacent, giving up, chasing my aspirations. Feeling I'm one of the greatest to ever put foot on the pavement. Knowing that half of my brothers is suffering life behind cages. Knowing the police is hating and racist and blatant and flagrant. Knowing that I could be X'd out just for making these statements. That's our risk I gotta take, man, just to be free. I'm just trying to be free. East Bay, if you wanna be free. If you wanna be free, put your hands to the sky like me and let me hear you say, oh yeah. And say, oh yeah. And say, free my mind. And say, free my mind. One time, silent, say it for us.
Walking tall, hold your head up high. Your dreams right up to the sky. Sing your greatest song, and you'll keep going, going on. Take it from me, someday we'll all be free. Yeah. Just wait and see, someday we'll all
y'all to clap your hands one more time for Skylar. It feels so good to be here at East Bay because there's so much light within inside each of all of us as individuals and as a collective. Do you feel the spirit in this place this morning? Somebody give me a voice. Let me hear your voice if you feel the spirit in the place this morning. This is collective energy, collective vibration. We're going to take it back. We live the ancestors, Roy Ayers, and all of the spirits of the great jazz greats who gave us so many songs that inspire us. Come on. Also the hip-hop generation like Tribe Called Quest, huh? Keep your hands clapping. We're just trying to shed light this morning. Come on. Hey. Skylar, why don't you tell them how we feeling this morning?
Find myself awaiting. For that sweet awakening. Brightness of the golden road. A mind with no ceiling.
A mind with no ceiling. We want to see the daylight.
I wanna see daylight in my life. I wanna see daylight in my life. Darkness got me closed in.
Daylight will set us free.
Bright one like the other one.
Allows me from far to see. We want to see daylight.
I wanna see daylight
Vibration.
in my life. I wanna see daylight in my life.
Hey, these are not just words, not just notes, not just rhythm. This is life, this is hope. My eye on success, I see it in my scope. I'm picking up momentum like I'm skiing down a slope. At this point in my life, it's all about results. Don't let the word can't ever come out your throat. Just choke. I don't even speak on failure. Lose got 4 letters, I call that a bad word. Like it's profanity, offensive, don't even mention. Took a few back in the day, that was just a scrimmage. I share my gift, I'm in the mood for giving. East Bay in the house, the church of the religious. Science, defiant to all the vibrations negative. This is soul and love, we let it live inside on telegraph. I telegraph the spirit, this is love, this is life in the lyrics. Cause we wanna see daylight. Come on. When I shine, you shine, East Bay, ayy. When I shine, you shine, we divine, ayy. When I shine, you shine, we divine, come on. When I shine, you shine, cause I wanna see
daylight.
When I shine, you shine, we shine, come on. When I shine, you shine, we shine, come on.
Daylight.
When I shine, you shine, we shine, we
In
shine.
my life.
When I shine, you shine, we shine. Come on.
Wanna see daylight, daylight in my life.
So much darkness in the world, but when we shine, yo, we shine for the world all together, cause we
Daylight, daylight in my life.
wake up to this beautiful day. Came straight to East Bay, cause
I wanna see daylight, daylight in my life.
When I shine, you shine, we shine. 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 We divine. When I shine, you shine, we shine. We divine. You shine, we shine. Give thanks one time, give thanks. When I shine, you shine, we shine. Give thanks.
That is the Cab Choice Ensemble. Gerald Williams on bass. Dame Drummer on drums. Skylar on vocals. And the one and only incomparable Cab Choice on piano, vocals, and all that good stuff. Study, fast, train, fight. Study, fast, train, fight. These are the 4 principles for commemorating Black August. Black August is an acknowledgement of the resistance movement against racism, imperialism, colonialism, and oppression, against genocide. It's an acknowledgement of people who gave their hearts, their struggle, their freedom, and their lives so that we could have freedom that we sometimes don't appreciate. It's acknowledgement of all the people who are still incarcerated today because they stood for something. But it's a complicated moment for us. Because every time I get up here and talk about fighting, I get all kind of messages. I remember me and Kev one Sunday did Fight the Power, and people lost their minds. Reverend Dereca, how can we fight the power? We are the power. What power are we fighting? What are we doing? What is the principle behind this? I'm so grateful that the Centers for Spiritual Living has come so far, because the theme for this month is the fear and the furious. And the theme for today is mobilizing our collective anger. There was a time in this movement where you couldn't even talk about anger. It was the A word, along with that other A word, activism. We're going to get to both of those today. But there was a time where it was frowned upon and hushed up and spiritual bypassed, and we couldn't talk about righteous anger. Because, you know, I like to say, if you're not angry, you're not paying attention. But see, now what's happening is everybody angry. Now you got something you're mad about. Now you're mad about this administration or that administration. Now everybody's all riled up and angry, and you're not so judgy about anger anymore. You're like, if we're not angry, I'm not angry, I'm just outraged. Just outraged at how could they think this way? How could they vote this way? How could they support this person? So, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Oppression sucks, right? And so the question that we get to take up, if we choose to, is what we're going to do about it. Reverend Deborah gave me the tool of the fire triangle, which helps me so much to contextualize the way I think about anger, because I can talk about anger as a spark. It's the thing that sets it off. It's the thing that wakes you up. In our guide for preaching today, it said anger is an alarm. Thich Nhat Hanh, who you all love for all his peacefulness, wrote a whole book on anger. It's called Anger. Because he knew some of y'all spiritual bypass people thought, oh, well, we shouldn't be talking about that. No, we absolutely should be talking about that. And what he said is anger is your baby. When it's crying, you don't ignore it. You find out what's wrong. It's a wake-up call. It's an alarm. Just like pain, it sends you a signal that says something ain't right. Something has to be done. But see, you can't forget the something has to be done part. Something has to change. If the baby is dirty, you got to change it. If the baby is hungry, you got to feed it. If the baby just needs to be held, you got to hold it. So when we have anger, that's our opportunity to get curious. What did you come to teach me? What am I really mad about? Right? Where does my power come from? Can it be taken away? Nelson Mandela sat in a jail cell for 27 years and came out. Talk about forgiveness. I think he had a right to be angry. What is it? I got a right to be hostile. My people have been persecuted. Right? And so it's not a question of being justified. Anger is an appropriate response to oppression, to discrimination, to genocide, to violence. It's not a question about whether it's appropriate. The question is it effective? As a spark, it's powerfully effective. I remember sitting in ministerial school, and my teacher, Reverend Margaret Stewart, told me, she said, politics don't have any place in church. And I looked at Reverend Margaret, who was also Reverend E's teacher and minister, with her fiery self. And I said to her, Reverend Margaret, if that were true, you and I wouldn't even be in this classroom together. And see, we love the civil rights movement. Right? We love all the leaders once they dead. Oh, yeah, it's that Sunday. You should know when Kev is here, I feel like that's permission for me to we going to get it in. I got the red on and everything. When they dead, we love them. Martin Luther King wasn't popular. He was not popular. They took an opinion poll right before he left. And they was ready to stone him to get rid of him. All the ministers came out. That's the main people that were complaining. Oh, you're stirring up trouble. You're creating problems. You need to be quiet. The South ain't ready for that. It was the ministers that protested. A letter from Birmingham jail was written to the ministers. Because they kept claiming that peace, 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 peace. You got to be quiet. You can't march. You can't protest. You can't do that. So just in case you was wondering, I told, we went to Celebrating Our Soul conference. How many people went to Celebrating Our Soul? We went to Celebrating Soul in Kansas City, Missouri. I told them, I said, if you're not talking about Palestine, you can stop celebrating King Day. Oh, see, you don't like that. Because you like them when they dead. You like the I have a dream, hold hands part. But in his evolution, he started protesting the Vietnam War. Palestine is my daughter's Vietnam War. She took to the streets in a wholly different way. And when I say that to people, you can see the light turn on going, oh, she didn't want to vote for anybody that was supporting that war. Right? And the thing is, what happened is just the question of what do we do with our anger? Because Jewish folks were justified in being angry at the attacks that killed all those citizens on that fateful day. They were justified in being angry. I had people get up and walk out during the service because I was talking about Palestine, and they got up and walked out. They said, I needed my minister to give me some compassion about all the Jews that died that day. And I said, you're right. Because we've got to figure out what we're going to do with the anger we have. Is it turning on somebody else? Because not that long ago, the genocide was in the direction, the Holocaust of the Jewish people. And now the genocide is being perpetuated just that fast. A cycle perpetuates itself. And America, we can't sit quiet because all those bombs say made over here, funded over here. That's our tax dollars, funding, quite frankly, several wars around the globe now, right? So sometimes when we're really angry, the truth is we're angry at ourselves. You know, when you snap at your kids or your partner because they just like you. I remember being pregnant with my daughter and praying that she wouldn't be too different than me. You know, I don't want to have one of those kids that's like, oh, God, Mom, you're too loud, and, you know, da-da-da. I remember praying that prayer and then being like, ooh, careful what you pray for. Because all of our relationships are mirrors. Both the small ones and the big ones. The partner that you're attracting right now, that's a mirror to show you where you're at your life. Oh, I know, this is not the fun Sunday. You had the music. And for some of us, that's good news. I'm like, oh, look, I finally love myself. Thanks, Chris. Right, that's good news. But sometimes there's an opportunity to look at places where we still need to grow. Same thing with our children. Remember you and all that, you know, fire that you had? Here it comes. Remember you and all that anger you had at your parents? Here it comes. Remember you and all that risk-taking or avoiding, whatever it is, here it comes. And it's an opportunity for us to reflect more deeply. What did you come to teach me? Because you can break up with the parent, break up with the ex, and then here come a new boss. Same stuff, different location. Here comes somebody at your church that just grinds your gears. I just hate it when they do pick a thing. Right? So this is our opportunity to see what is the baby crying about? What is the alarm trying to tell us? And what are we going to do about it? What tools, strategies, ideas, consciousness can we apply to the situation that will help transform us from the limited reactive thinking that says, the baby is crying, I gotta what? Slap it? You see what I'm saying? Now, that sounds crazy if I'm talking about a baby, but that's the way we act online when we trolling. And nowadays, I can't tell the difference from one side or the other based on the trolling conversations. You must be stupid, and how could you, da-da-da. It's all straight to insults, right? And then it starts to show up in the way that we talk to and treat each other in real life, right? But when we tap in to the roots underneath our anger, we see the invitation for healing. There's an opportunity here to heal the way we look at the situation, the way we look at ourselves, the way we look at each other, and the way we look at spirit itself. You know, my mother, when she would get irritated at her job, I tell you, she always says, it's a good thing I don't work for this company, because I work for God. And so she understood spirit as her provider, and from that place, there was an opportunity to recalibrate the power she was giving to her job. This is our opportunity every day, is to look at how much of our power are we giving away by awarding it to whoever's online. I get up some days and I get to going on the thing, and I'm sitting here drafting a response to something on Facebook, and how could you think that, and don't you know our ancestors, the blah, da, 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 da. And nowadays, praise God, I almost always just delete it. I put it over in my notes just so I can feel like if I ever need to say that point, I'm ready. I got all these things in my notes. If the point ever needs to be made, it's over there. But I'm reflecting not on whether I'm right in what it is that I have to say, but is it helpful? Is it useful? Is it a good use of my time, my energy? Is it going to change anything? Is it going to build anything? What difference is it really going to make? All it's doing right now is me feeding the problem. And the thing is, all of the problems that we are facing as a society right now, they need us. They need us to be thinking creatively about solutions. They need us to be building community together to make change for good. They need us to be exhibiting the compassion that we teach here as a church for people who see the world differently than us, people who come from different backgrounds than us. We teach that here, and the world needs that, so it's our time and it's our job to step up. And I've got good news for you, because I know I be coming so hard sometimes. I got good news. It's happening. It's happening in such incredible and amazing ways. I just want to kind of give you today a little notes from the field. So I want to go back now. Over a week ago, we went out to Celebrating Our Soul. And Celebrating Our Soul is for the people of African Descent New Thought Group. And I was so blessed to be there as they recognized Reverend E. And all of the elders from different communities. And on Thursday night, I was honored to be one of the keynotes. And then the other keynotes were Reverend Michael, Brother Ishmael, Bishop Jack Mobar, who just tore the whole house down with his Metacostal preaching. It was from Hillside in Atlanta. But they told, Brother Saba gave a lot of the history of how folks who had been in unity for many years had integrated that environment after dealing with racism. And so I told the story of Reverend E. and Reverend Francione and Reverend Mwata and the ways that they showed up and found racist language in the Science and Mind textbook. And Reverend Mwata jumped up and was like, I'm leaving. And Reverend Francione grabbed him and pulled him down and said, no, we're staying until we change this. So both of those things are necessary. The fire that Reverend Mwata felt is right. It's powerful. It drew the attention to everybody, but he channeled that anger. Reverend E channeled that anger. Reverend Francione channeled that anger, and you don't even know what I'm talking about because it ain't in the textbook no more. Where can you take that light, that spark, and add some fuel to it and add some oxygen to it and create an actual change? This is what our sacred activism ministries are all about. So I'm here, and I just want to tell y'all I was nervous. I was like, okay. I'm so glad I did not know that the other keynotes were like Reverend Michael and Brother Ishmael, because I would have been even more nervous. And God bless her. I went up to Reverend E, and I was like, Reverend E, I'm nervous. And she said what she always says. She said, it's not you. It's not you. You are the faucet, not the water. Just let it come through you. So I went and I did my meditation and I got ready and I got out there and it was like 30 people there from Detroit, so it felt like old home week. So I was in my bag, as they like to say, and I really had a good time. And it was a wonderful experience to be with people from around the country. And there were two pieces of feedback that I got that were really, really powerful, that meant a lot, that I want to share with you because they're not just about me. They're about what our ministry means to people. So for some folks, why is there just so we can get clear, in case there's anybody who has a question, why is there a Blacks in New Thought or People of African Descent in New Thought conference anyway? I'll give you a story of a piece of feedback that I got to let you know why. There were some white allies who were there, one of which is one of my ministerial classmates, Reverend Abigail Scherer, who is up in Seattle. And she came, but she came to bring some of the Black members of her community, which is predominantly white, so that they could have an experience. And one of those people came up to me and she said, I saw you talk and I decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to become a practitioner. And I realized that I was talking to her that when you don't see somebody in the pulpit that looks like you, it's harder to make the connection that this is for you. And there was something about the Blackness of this occasion that allowed us to kind of let our hair down in a different way and to be ourselves in a different way. And you might think that I am fully myself here at East Bay, and I thought I was. But being with my Detroit homies, I had a little extra swag in my step. I had a little extra little subcontacts. I was kind of like throwing my robe around a little bit. And I thought, oh, she said, if she can do it, then I can too. And that is why your life is calling you to be you and nobody else. Because I don't sound like Reverend Michael, and I don't sound like Brother Ishmael, and I don't sound like Sheila McKeithen, who was bad. I was taking notes like, oh my God, Reverend Sheila. I sound like me. And there's somebody who goes, she is being herself. So I can do this as myself without having to change into and conform into somebody else's idea. You ought to be you because everybody else is taken. Trying to be somebody else ain't working no way. You keep comparing yourself to whoever you comparing yourself, stop. Stop. Because they comparing themselves to somebody too. I learned that early in life in college. One of my best friends was a beauty queen. And still, like literally like Miss USA type. And was still struggling with her body image. And I thought, if a panel of judges have voted that you got the best body and you still struggling, then I learned early that it's in your mind. It's in your own ideas of, I got to be perfect. Ask me how I know. Poor Sister Bathsheba, she did such an excellent job last week, didn't she? She was so amazing. And I at least had the good sense to say to her, I said, listen, I can give you two versions of feedback. I can give you the you did an excellent job because you did. And I've talked to a lot of people and they loved it and their hearts was touched and you were open and you were vulnerable and you were prepared and it was amazing. Or I can give you my notes. And I'm going to just tell you right now that my notes reflect the way I talk to myself, the kind of notes I get. I can barely watch my talks because I got 1,000 notes. Brett in the booth, he'll tell you I got 1,000 notes. Brett, the sound right here was the da-da-da, right? And ain't that how we do ourselves? Right? Everything, the anger that we have at other people is often, if you get curious about what it is, when you look under it, it's the hurt. It's the criticism that you have of yourself that somebody gave you. Some adult, some teacher, some parent, some grandparent, some spouse, somebody gave you the tool to criticize yourself, and now you criticizing others. And you know what I love about Bathsheba? She said, I want to grow. she was like, so let's hear it. And we sat and had dinner and laughed and went over the things. And I told her, I feel like putting her up, and it was pride, and there's a lot of pressure to talk about those kinds of things. And she was honest about her journey. And some of it I said, well, I don't know. I think there were a couple of ouches in there. I don't think that, your sexual orientation is a choice. And there were other things that happened. And she just took those notes like, okay, good, thank you. All right, boom, boom, boom. And I thought, I want to be like her. When y'all give me the feedback, I want to not take it personally. I want to not see, I get feedback. Well, Reverend Dereca, I want to thank Ross, who is always sending me little notes about things from the few folks always send me notes about the talk, and I really appreciate it. Ross pointed out a couple weeks ago that there was a brother here who was facing eviction. And I talked about praying and the power of prayer to change the circumstance. And he was like, did somebody help him with actual housing? Thank you, Ross. Thank you. And the truth is, yes, people did come up because we're not doing that spiritual bypass thing where it's like all you need is prayer. So folks actually need housing. There are a lot of our people who are facing eviction right now who need housing support. So I do know that people reached out who have those resources, and we do have them in our community. Thank you to Reverend Ona and others who are always giving us leads on how we can support our members. But I'll get back to the convention. It was life-altering. It really was. So the woman saying that she wanted to become a practitioner really moved me and reminded me to remind all of us to be our full selves. And the other thing that happened is, of course, it was me. So I certainly centered talking about queer identity and how we need to build a bigger tent as Black folks so that we have space in it for all of our diversity. And I was walking in the airport, actually, when I was leaving, and there was an elder sister there. And I was complimenting her on her coat, and she had been at the conference too. And she just grabbed my hand, and she said to me, she says, I just want to thank you for bringing up queer folks because it's so rarely mentioned. And I just thought about how many decades she had been sitting in Black spaces, in New Thought spaces, feeling invited but not included. You understand? Diversity is being invited to dance, invited to the dance. Inclusion is being asked to dance. And belonging is being able to dance however you want. Equity is having a turn picking a DJ. Because if I pick the DJ at your party, me and Cam Troyce, we're going to have a good time. I don't know if you're going to have a good time, but that's power to decide. And I knew and know the power of the microphone. I get to decide how big our tent is and who it includes. And I'm telling you, it includes everybody who shows up. We had some people show up here who started, we had a little money sitting out on the table we used to have for the food, and there's a woman who showed up and she was taking some of the money. And I found out that people told her to never come back to the church. And I was like, what kind of programs do we have? If that, you better come find me. I got $20 for her so she don't have to steal from the basket. What kind of tent are we building here, people? Right? Because when we turn that anger, that thing, and I understand, what I realize is I have not been conditioned as a man to be the protector. And I understand that's a different thing. The brothers be on me like, okay, we got to make sure the perimeter is safe, and I appreciate that. And what is our mission? Our mission is to serve everybody, especially her. I don't want to have a church where we walking around being suspicious of people and worried about the little $6 that was in the basket. We're not doing that. I'm just telling you right now, we're not doing that. Ooh, I done lost my way. Okay, here, maybe read the actual notes. How about that? The invitation when the inner alarm of anger goes off is to pause and reflect on anger and seek the deeper truth that it reveals rather than just ignoring or unleashing it? What part of myself is seeking understanding, healing, and protection? By approaching our anger with curiosity and compassion, we allow ourselves to listen deeply and recognize the wisdom behind the emotion. In this way, anger transforms from an impulsive reaction into a powerful doorway for insight, conscious growth, and meaningful spiritual evolution. This is our opportunity right here and now, is to get curious about what our anger has come to teach us, individually, but also collectively. And I want to give you one more report from the field. You know, sacred activism has always been my brand. It's the reason I became a minister. I was an activist before I became a minister, and then Reverend E called me because I was out screaming on the TV. And she said, "Aren't you a practitioner?" Because a practitioner is the presence of peace. And like I told him in Kansas City, I said, "No justice, no peace, Reverend E." Well, I didn't say it quite like that. I think I said, "Reverend E, how we going to have peace without any justice?" And then I said, "Okay, well, we need you in the movement. Can you come and pray?" She said, "You pray." I'm like, then I'm not going to look cool in front of my activist friends, Reverend E. And sure enough, I went out there talking about, okay, we're going to call the movement Working for Justice, Praying for Peace. And some of the activist friends was like, "We don't need no mother figure up here trying to tell us virtue signaling and blah, blah, blah." You know, that's the term that they use to shame you, is virtue signaling. Yes, that's the term they use to shame you in the activist movement. If you try to seem like you're one of the good activists, and then the people who are tearing up stuff are the bad activists, then you're virtue signaling. And I was like, I do have some virtues. I do have some values. And I just decided, okay, I'm going to just go away and go to ministerial school and try to just hide a little bit. And I just wanted to be irreverent because I thought that would mean that when people called me, they would know I was going to pray. And I wanted to transform. I was looking to do this even before it was a weekly topic. How do I transform the anger I have into something that's creative? Because I'm going to tell you something. At the end of, when we were protesting around BART, they wanted to have a meeting with us to talk about what the security force would look like. And my companions in the movement at that time said, "We're not going." And I was like, "What you mean?" They're like, "Don't go. They're going to try to co-opt you and use this meeting to say that they met our demands." And I was like, wait. You mean this whole time we've been protesting to change the security policy at BART, but now that it's time to have the meeting about what we want the security policy to mean, we don't have nothing that we want to say about what we want the security, we don't have an agenda for the security policy? Oh, no. That's how you look up and realize you're organizing with the wrong people. And that was what made me go to ministerial school. Was because I wanted to be around people who knew what they were for, not just what they were against. Now that's virtue signaling, call it what you want, right? So fast forward to yesterday, so we can get out of here at a reasonable hour. Celebrating our soul was one of my most beautiful moments. Reverend Deborah called it our all-star weekend. It was just all the heavyweights in there, just like watching. They said they were watching me. She said, "I've been watching you try it on, but now you're wearing it." She said, we looking at you like Shaq and them be watching the dunk contest, like, look at the rookie over there with her arm in the hoop. Coming from her, that meant a lot. But yesterday we had our launch for the Sacred Activism Community of Practice. How many people were able to make it? And I'm going to tell you, it was beyond a dream come true. I was telling the committee that put it together thank you. Is Tiffany here? Oh, there she is. Tiffany McLean helped facilitate these meetings for the last, I don't even know how many months, to help prepare this launch that happened yesterday. And we had over 115 people who signed on to the call yesterday from all over the country. And I said to the planning committee, I said, I couldn't have dreamed this. And Reverend David said, but you did dream it. And that's why we're here. And that's all good at the end. But today is a story about anger. And I want to tell you that if I hadn't been out there screaming at the television, that if I hadn't been out there organizing in the streets, that if I hadn't been out there not just praying for peace, but working and fighting for justice, if I hadn't been doing that, yesterday would not have been what it was. But it is because I walked on both sides of the street. It's because I understood the righteous anger of my people and all people who are facing oppression, marginalization, genocide, and unequal treatment, discrimination of all kinds. If I didn't understand the righteous anger of that, I wouldn't have known what to do with these principles. They don't make sense to me if all they do is benefit us as individuals. I needed to know what we could do with the principles to change the systems that are oppressing us. Yesterday, our spiritual leader, Reverend Dr. Sonny Cantrell, broke down the history of the New Thought movement in a way that I never thought I would hear in my entire life. She went to talking about the liberation theology roots of this teaching, the ways in which from the beginning it was used by abolitionists, it was used by suffragettes, it was used by people who were fighting and working for their liberation from its very roots. And then what happened is some folks came in and they said, well, shoot, we ought to use it for physical healing, which was important. But we ought to use it for prosperity consciousness. And that was also important because Reverend Ike, as whatever you think about him, he was talking about black folks not believing that they were entitled to have less, that they ought to think about having as much as anybody else in the world. He was talking about a liberatory idea, but some people only took away, I can have a lot of money. I can have a lot of gold. I've been to Reverend Ike's house. He had gold toilets for real. That's what some people took away, was the jewelry and the diamonds and the cars and all of that. That's not what prosperity consciousness is about at all. Prosperity consciousness is about circulation. It's about flow. It's about understanding that money is energy. All this stuff is energy. Love is an energy, and what you put out comes back to you. So if you put out in the universe, I can't have, I don't deserve, I'm not able, it's not enough, that's what's coming back to you, and so it is. Because even in the worst depression times, even in the middle of everything that's wrong in this world, there are some people who are manifesting good all the time. I walked with the Tuareg people in the desert in Mali, and they didn't have nothing but a tarp over their heads, but they were some of the happiest people I've ever met. So it's a consciousness, whether you live in a mansion with 100 rooms or whether you live under a tarp in Mali, it's a consciousness, because some people got 100 rooms and it ain't enough. It ain't enough. It's the consciousness of abundance, not the money. If that's right, somebody asked me yesterday to pray for them that they hit the lottery. And I said, I can't do that. Because there's no principle behind that. That you as an individual, I could get into that. I'm not going to get into the lottery today because that's a different sermon. The moment that happened yesterday with those 115 people was a recognition by our spiritual leader and so many other people who came to the call that this is the moment where we have to come together and rebuild the systems that are making our lives so hard. if we try to fight the systems individually, then how many people are angry at the healthcare system? If you're not angry at the healthcare system, God bless you, right? How many people are looking at economic injustice and redlining and the housing crisis and thinking, what is wrong with this situation? How many people are looking at like, is racism ever going to just give up and be over with? How many people are looking at homophobia and going, how can you do this to other people just because they want to love and be themselves? What is the problem? How many people are looking at the economic inequity, looking at the gender inequality, the pay gap is still real. All of these things are still real. And guess what? It's all the same source. We think that getting angry is enough because we haven't been taught how much power we have to make actual change. So yesterday we came together and looked around and said there's more of us than we thought that are ready to put our money where our mouth is, that are ready to make a change. And I just want you to know that East Bay was on the forefront of bringing that awareness to because that's all people needed was to go, I'm not alone. We spend too much time talking about and to people who oppose our point of view. If we could just organize the people who agree with us, we can change all of it. That's all we got to do. And so East Bay is doing our part. I'm going to invite Nguyen to come up. Before we do music, Brett, we're going to have the slides for the East Bay is doing our part to create a space here where we can take one of our brilliant activist minds and support them in making the kind of change that we need in our society. I'm going to let her come talk, and then I'll come back and pray us out.
Good morning, East Bay. So my name is Nguyen. How many people were here last week? Okay, so last week we all saw a video about Peggy and Hope. Many of us are familiar. And we know that we wanted to give a little more context. For those that don't know, Peggy and Hope were tremendous people to this community, East Bay, here at East Bay, to Oakland, to Alameda County, to California, and to the nation. They did a lot of work in arts, in culture, social justice, human rights. And so last week, actually a week and a half ago, they were recognized at a plaza. There's a plaza in their name. If anyone knows where Rico is, plaza, it's at the Oakland LGBTQ Center. And there were many people there, friends, family, community members, that were there to recognize and honor their work. And Reverend Dereca was also one of the speakers there. And if anyone knows, Hope and Peggy were tremendous community leaders. They were activists. They were change makers. And so if you could just stay at that slide for a second, back up one. So Hope and Peggy were very active in politics. They met on the Obama campaign back the first time around. And we also noticed at their memorial, they passed away 2 years ago, which is pretty wild to me. And the reason why is because there's so much love for Hope and Peggy, what they did, their contributions to this community, the contributions to their family and the world. And so we wanted to recognize that video was put together by her cousin who had talked about the challenges of putting it together, but wanted to really recognize the work that Peggy and Hope had done. We also have been talking since that time. Many of you have heard, how can we continue that work? That's been happening on Facebook through a Facebook group, the Hope Wood and Peggy Moore Facebook group. So we started the Justice Residency here. We are starting the Justice Residency here. You can clap. I'm about to tell you what it is. And so it's really rooted in three things: story-based strategy, social justice, and community and power building. Those are three things that each of them did individually and they did collectively. So we started the Hope Wood and Peggy Moore Justice Residency. Applications are currently being accepted, and we can go to the next slide. Thanks, Brett. So applications are being accepted. So I just want to tell you a little bit, and I will be in the fellowship hall after church. It's really focused around, are you an activist, an organizer? Are you doing community building work? This is an 11-week residency. And people get to choose, do you want to focus on arts and culture, social justice and human rights, systems transformation and change working, or something you want to put together where you're leading and building in partnership? Thank you, Brett. And so this is the person that put together, Dawn is her name, and it's her cousin. And so we are accepting applications, like I said. They start now, and the residency begins October 15th and runs through December 31st. I'll have flyers and information, but if you know activists, organizers, people that are working in change, we really invite them to fill out the application. And I will be in the fellowship hall after church.
So it's a $9,000 stipend. So I know that there are some artists or some social justice activists who could use that extra stipend right now, and you'll have space and resources both from East Bay and other community partners who will support the person. Applications close September 15th. It's all on our website at www.ebcrs.org. We just want to honor the work that Peggy and Hope did, and we want to put our money where our mouth is as it comes to thinking about how we build power in this community and how we make change in Oakland and beyond. Thank you. I want to say, as I close, that sometimes anger is scary for some of us. When we see people like Reverend E saw me screaming on the television, we're like, back up with that. I can't tell you how many people say, Reverend Dereca, I'm not one of those activists. Like it's a dirty word. You know, it's still one of the only things you can kind of just say, I'm not including with, though I want to be those activists. But underneath our anger is a thirst for justice that is so deeply aligned with the principles of what we teach and believe. We cannot have a oneness if we have discrimination in the way that we teach each other, in the way we treat each other, in the way that we engage with our systems. We have to speak up now. We have to come in a little bit closer across our differences and our perspectives, and each find, as Tracy Brown would tell us, what is mine to do. And I just want to tell you a little cheat code. The answer is not nothing. What is mine to do? Is it to come next week and write some postcards? Is it to give to an organization? Is it to become more educated about a community I don't know about? Is it to do healing work, to become a practitioner? Whatever it is, it's time to get active. That's what activism is about, is being part of a movement that is committed not just to personal growth, but to systemic change. That's my commitment to you all, is to keep putting in front of us opportunities to change the system, because Angela Davis talks about interlocking forms of oppression, but there are also interlocking keys of liberation. And when we get free as Black folks, as queer folks, as people with disabilities, as economically disenfranchised folks, when we get free as young folks, as older folks, when we get free, someday we'll all be free. And so it is. I want to invite the practitioners to stand, and as we go into prayer, I want to lift up, there's an image, Brett, of someone we want to honor today. There are so many of our elders in our community who are at home watching. And we want to send our love today to Mama Sita, Sharon Porter. Everybody turn around and wave at the camera. Say, we love you, Mama Sita. Mwah. Sharon Porter, the legacy of Sharon Porter in this community is beyond words. Like our beloved Richard Scott back there at the door, Mama Sita was there every Sunday. Every Sunday with a hug and a smile and remembering your name and asking about your mama and your cat and whatever else it was. And our hearts are with her and her family as they support her. She's in a different space in her life now. We might not see her here on Sundays, but our folks who are at home need us to know that we remember them. And so reach out to her family. If you're in the neighborhood and you can stop by. But also Wendy Worsley, right? And then I know Gloria is out because her mother-in-law just made her transition. Elihu is coming home from the hospital. Our folks need to know that when they're not here, we notice, and we call and we check on them. So Adrian McCall, Kawaza, who else should I be calling out? Anybody else whose name we want to mention? You can mention somebody in your family. We praying for everybody today. Reverend Carmela, Milton Hills, and Getting Care, Washington. Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you so much for that. Absolutely. So right here and right now, we go within, recognizing that every name is called, every prayer that's in the treatment box. We recognize that God only has one answer, and that answer is yes. That answer is love. That answer is the unconditional presence of Spirit right where you are. If you are watching this service, God is right where you are. It's not in a location. It's not in a building. It's in a consciousness. And that consciousness is our birthright. We were born with this direct connection to the divine. That's the difference between this and some other theology is we believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. And I feel it in me right now. And I know if I feel it in me, you've got to feel it in you because there's only one of us. And so I just invite you to keep tapping in beyond the anger, beyond the fear. What's underneath? What's underneath is a tender heart that wants and deserves healing. This is our opportunity. Sometimes we are in the street angry because we can't say, I'm so sad. I saw a black girl on Instagram, and she was saying, I just don't understand why white people hate us so much. And I said, they don't hate us, they fear us. And why do they fear us? Because they don't know us. Because if you get close to us, anybody who you fear, anybody who you don't know if it's queer folks or poor folks or unhoused folks, who is it that you fear? Bring them into your consciousness right now and close the gap and say, I see God in you. You are whole, perfect, and complete just the way that you are. And come on, if that's the person in the White House, you got to bring the power of your whole spirit to bear in these times right now. This is not time for the faint of heart. This is a time for the faithful. This is the time for the people who know the power of God. I look at the past behind me, and I understand now. This is Black August. We got to look at all the people who sacrificed, who trained, and who studied, and who fought so that we could have the freedoms that we have today. That's what I was telling Reverend Margaret. We're the ones we're waiting for. The ancestors handed us the baton and said, what you going to do now is your leg to run. And so I'm so grateful that we got somatics and balanced practices that allow us to get back to breathing and doing it differently now. We're going to do it from a place of peace, from a place of power, from a place of rest, from a place of balance, from a place of restoration. But we are going to do it as a community now. And so I'm so grateful for this community called East Bay Church. I'm grateful for the legacy of Reverend Dr. Eloise Oliver and the way she called me in to being a practitioner. I'm so grateful for the all-star team recognizing that this is a movement movement of black folks in New Thought. I'm grateful for all the people of all the races who showed up for the community practice and said, we're ready. Let's do something. What action can we take to change the world? Because it's ours to do. This is what we teach. This is what we believe. This is the moment. This is the time to change whatever it is that needs to be changed in your own heart. To face the fear. Fear that you might not be able to pay your bills. The fear that you might never find love again. The fear that you're alone. The fear of your own mind. It's time to face it, but not alone. The practitioners are here, willing to pray with you, willing to stand with you and know the truth that God is all there is, and there is a power for good in the universe, and it wants to use you. There's nothing to be healed, only the truth to be revealed. The Spirit is ready and available. So I release this word to the perfect activity of divine law, knowing that all I have to do is let go. Let go of my old beliefs. Let go of my bloated nothingness. Let go of my idea that I got to somehow work hard to make it happen, and really just trust the thing that created me, that orders every drop in the ocean, every star in the sky. That same stardust, that's my life. And just like it made this body out of an ovum and a sperm, it makes the way straight. I trust that. I believe that. And I just invite you to know it for yourself by saying Ashe. Amen. And so it is.
Let's give it up for Reverend Dereca. Give it up for Reverend Dereca. All right, let the person next to you know. Just turn to him and say, we need you, right? We need you. Yeah, we need you. This is the way everything changed. What a day party, right? That's what happens when a DJ throw it down. And if you've ever seen Coming to America when Sexual Chocolate throws down the mic, you threw the mic down. That was one of those moments. All right, it's our offertory time. This is our time for us to truly look at how blessed we are financially and the abundance in our life. And when I say financially, I'm just not talking about money. I'm talking about joy, love, good health, all of that prosperity. And so there's a whole script for me to say. All right. So at this time, we invite our ushers to come forward as we prepare for our offertory time. And let's read this together, everyone, as we look at not only the blessings in our lives, but the blessings in this universe. And it reads, and we say it together. I keep my entire focus on God within as the only cause of my prosperity. I place my faith in a principle of abundance in action within me. Oh, and so it is. And so as we prepare for this offering time, as the ushers come around, we have our baskets that are coming around. We also have our cards, so we know that some of you hold your hands up. Please know that they are going to get to you as quickly as possible. And thank you for this opportunity. All right, let's have some music while we have this offertory time taking place.
appreciating this moment right now as we give and we offer, knowing that it will be returned to you in multitudes and plenitudes, abundance will overflow. Giving thanks. Every day is priceless. Every day is priceless. Focus on divine, not these devices. They want to keep us mindless. Times I feel I'm spiraling until I get reminded. Usually a sign of feeling I cannot describe it. Revealing what's inside, I shouldn't hide it. Spiritually guided, seeking alignment. Every day is priceless. Focus on divine, not these devices. They want to keep us mindless. Sometimes I feel I'm spiraling until I get reminded. Usually a sign of feeling I cannot describe it. Revealing what's inside, you shouldn't hide it. Spiritually guided, seeking alignment. Spirit raise my awareness. Spirit elevate my consciousness. Open up my eyes. Open up my mind. Guide me on the straight way. Spirit raise my awareness. Elevate my consciousness. Open up my eyes. Open up my mind. Guide me on the straight way.
So we just give thanks. We give thanks for the blessings. We give thanks for the offerings. We give thanks for the intention behind the offering. And recognizing that everyone in thought as well as action that placed in a basket or through the intention, we know that this spiritual center, this church is blessed. Your life is blessed, and that these blessings continue to multiply, and that these blessings continue to prosper in such a way that we see not only transformation here at East Bay Church, but transformation in your life and the world. For the universe is abundant, and that abundance is ours right here and right now, and so it is. Cab Choice Ensemble. Thank you for the music. So at this time, we would like for all of our practitioners, if you would please stand. Just want to say a word about our practitioners that we have here. These licensed individuals are truly here to pray with you. For all those who would love to have prayer. If you want prayer for more of, their prayer is not just for something's going on or something's not right. It's for anything that you want more of or want to experience. These folks have studied for years, and they are available to pray with you. So if you are available, if you don't mind coming over to the side so our congregants can see, they'll go in the back with you. And more love? Who want to experience more love? Raise your hand. You want more love? All right. More abundance? More good health? All right. That means the back room will be full. Yes. So please make sure you show up back there. So we thank you. We told you it would be a day party. Was this a party or what? Was this a day party? That's right. A celebratory spirit on a Sunday. So you take this energy, all of this hip-hop flavor that was in here today, the Kev choice, and just into your week and feel that joy, that love, that vibration. And before you leave here, you must smile at about 4 or 5 people and tell them have a good week, right? So I'm going to do the prayer, but this is not community during the service right now. This is community after and beyond. Because there's so many people that I see in Oakland, they be like, I know you, but I don't know you. And guess what we say? East Bay. And they're like, yep, East Bay. So let's get ready to close out with this collective prayer. Recognizing that it is nothing but juiciness. Juiciness of nothing but goodness that is ruminating and having its way in each and every one of us. And that this flow of love, this flow of goodness, it is just vibrating. And we are levitating in such a way that all that we are doing is just being present to the goodness of God. And that goodness is not only now, it is throughout the week. We levitate in this light of love and allow all this juiciness to permeate and have its way to create the best drink of juice you want to have for your life. Ashe. Amen. And so it is. All right, don't forget to smile at somebody.
Keep your head high, 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 ayy. Keep your head high, keep your head high, keep your head high, keep your head high, ayy. Keep your head high, keep your head high, keep your head high, keep your head high, I was always told I was a king. Everything I touch will turn to gold. I'ma always shine, you best believe. Feel like I belong upon the throne. Somebody always gonna try to knock you down. Point out all the things that you do wrong. Feel like the world against you, just keep staying strong. And most of all, through it all, ayy. Keep your head high, keep your head high. Keep your head high, keep your head high. Keep your head high, keep your head high. East Bay, keep your head high, keep your head high. What? Keep your head high. 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 Ayy. Always told I was a king. Everything I touch will turn to gold. I'ma always shine, the best believe. Feel like I belong up on the throne. Somebody always gonna try to knock you down. Point out all the things that you do wrong. Feel like the world against you, just keep staying strong. And most of all, through it all, ayy. Keep your head high, keep your head high, keep your head